take a look at what the papers have. We'll begin with the leadership this Friday. And, the lead story here says ACF, Kwankwasia, NNPP, Flay Kanu. Assembly's move to impeach Deputy Governor. That's on page 4. Senate uncovers 210 trillion naira discrepancy in NNPCL's 7-year audited accounts, summons KRE orders. That's on page 24. Drag case against Abba Kyari on course. NDLEA clarifies, and that's on page 6. That's an update of the verdict of the court yesterday. Away from that, just beside the masthead, we have CAF postpones Women's AFCON 2026 12 days before kickoff. You want to find out why? A copy of the leadership would do you good. And we have power generation plunges to 3,940.53 megawatts as gas shortage worsens. Details on page 22. And just beside that, 2026 Electoral Act is the kicker. IPAC threatens boycott of 2027 polls. And that's on page 6. Looking below the picture story, right here, we have Gombe begins enforcement of grazing, forest reserves laws. Delta APC hails Arinyeka-led EXCO, dismisses claims of crisis. And finally, Tinubu resolves 15-year OPL 245 dispute, unlocks deep water investment. So let's see the Daily Times now. The Daily Times leads with unaccounted 210 trillion naira NNPCL fund. Mele Kyari and others have case to answer. That's according to the Senate. And above the masthead, Tinubu sees OPL 245 deal with ENI ends 15-year oil dispute. And finally, not much on the front page of the Daily Times this morning. In the red strip, we have federal government sets up steering committee to revive ailing cotton textile sector. That's about it. Victor.
All right, thank you, Yenre. Now I have the blueprint, and just above the nameplate, Tinubu's economic reforms yielding measurable fruits. That's according to Idris, and that story is on page 7. Now below the nameplate, Nigeria spends $1.5 billion annually on animal vaccine imports. That's credited to Minister of Livestock, and it's on page 9. In business, gas shortage reason for temporary reduction in power generation. That's according to NISO, and it's on page 20. And in sports, WAFCON 2026 rescheduled to July-August. It's on page 32. And what looks like the major headline here, 15 years after, Tinubu resolves historic OPL 245 dispute, unlocks deep water investment, Zabazaba Etan development to attract 150,000 barrels per day. Senate summons ex-NNPCL boss Kyari Ajia over 210 trillion naira. And on the right piece here, assets declaration. Court slams NDLEA, acquits Abba Kyari, 2 brothers. He's still in our custody, says the Nigerian Correctional Service. And 2 kidnappers to die by hanging in Kwara. Cultist, lecturer jailed for terrorism, extortion in Akwa Ibom. And on the final set of stories, with global refineries down, we've become Nigeria's energy lifeline. That's according to Dangote Refinery on page 20. Bauchi governor pardons 73 inmates, says no human being beyond reform. That's on page 10. We are ready to pursue Walida abduction case to reunite with family. That's credited to Jigawa state government, and it's on page 10. And finally, FG deploys technology to crack down on irregular immigrants nationwide, and that story is on page 7. Chugode.
Look, Dangote Dangibaba is not beating his chest, you know, futilely by saying what he said. But for the fact that we now have a refinery, 650,000 barrels per day, That will not be my case. It's a major achievement. And he's telling you the truth when he says that, but for their existence, Nigeria will be in deep waters. Because, Victor, given what is happening because of the Iran conflict, who would have had time to give you what they have produced when everybody is now scrambling to ensure that their local market consumption is met? So he has a very big point. We should always thank God for small mercies in this country. I don't like it when I hear only negative things about Nigeria.
True.
There are so many things to be applauded about this country. And Dangi Baba's statement is something that I respect and I praise. I really like to hear things like that. Now, Senate uncovers how much? 210 trillion naira discrepancy. They didn't say 210 million. They said
Trillion.
These NNPCL people, and they fear them. You know, there's something I have always said about NNPCL. I know that the NLC president might not like me for saying this, but I'm one of those who tell you, if these people have not been refining petrol for quite some time now, and some people were employed to refine petrol, what job are those people still doing in that place? I just asked that question. We really can be wasteful in this country. Then when you want to lay them off, Labour will say, no, I don't believe in that. How could you stay in a place where your services are no longer being utilized? And you're a happy man? Or have they now started agriculture on the side and you're being used on the side? Anyway, that's my opinion. Now, resolution of OPL 245 dispute. This is something that the president should be commended for. Very, very commendable. That has been running for decades now. Now, for those who might need to be brought up on the matter, the OPL 245 bribery affair, also known as the Malibu oil deals scandal, centers on a 2011 agreement in which Royal Dutch Shell and Italy's Eni paid $1.3 billion to acquire Nigeria's deepwater oil license, OPL 245, a block believed to hold 9 billion barrels of crude. So you can see what the stagnation has been causing us. This is good. This is fine. Victor, when you were reading, you told us that 150,000 barrels per day should come from that venture, now that we are ready to exploit it. I think it's something that...
There's one story that didn't make it to the headlines, and I'm wondering why. And that's the approval of 100% annual salary as gratuity for retiring federal workers.
100 what?
% annual salary as gratuity for retiring federal workers.
That's a great one.
Fantastic.
And you're not smiling.
I'm excited, and that's why I brought it to light, even though it's not in the papers.
I worked for federal government that time. That will no good though. Anyway, that's a very good one.
Honestly.
Look, I said it the other day. There's this professional WhatsApp group we are on. And Chukudi, restless, curious Chukudi, who keep on saying things about our job, blah, blah, blah. Then I felt bad that the goody oldies on that platform were not speaking out. I said, they're not speaking up about the way our industry is going and all that. One person called me and said, Chukudi, can you please stop this nonsense? Some of the people on that platform, they may have been your model broadcasters in their time. Some of them cannot afford 2 meals a day because of what we're paying them as pension. My heart sank. But he was telling me the truth. That was when I stopped all. Can you please help us correct young broadcasters, blah, blah, blah. You know, you could carry something for head, no problem. It hurt me. So when you read this, now what I'm going to ask you is it going to have a retroactive effect?
No, 2026. I think January 2026. So those who, are retiring soon are super excited.
It doesn't affect the ancestors. Imagine I get into a class and you young broadcasters call me an ancestor. This is not right. I get problem.
Don't mind them.
You know? It's really something that we should look into. Now, this saddens me because just 2 days ago, I was praising the Kano Assembly for saying Deputy Governor is not under any threat of impeachment. You know, he remains with
NNPP.
Kwankwaso's NNPP. Didn't go with his boss to APC. But now I'm hearing something different.
He's been boxed.
And you're saying, must the dog bear his black nose all the time? I thought somebody was going to say, hey, as long as he remains loyal to his boss, he could be in a different political party, which is not impossible.
No, but loyalty will be in doubt when you're in a different camp. Loyalty will be in doubt once you're in a different camp, honestly, as far as politics is concerned.
Loyalty is everything. Loyalty is everything. You know?
Well. And this assets declaration case, court slams NDLEA acquits Abba Kyari, two brothers, is a bit controversial. Okay, the Nigerian Correctional Service says he's still in our custody. NDLEA said something over there that they still have him. It's not, discharged.
Draw case against Abba Kyari on course. Now, there are actually two. I tried to read up a bit on it. What he was acquitted of yesterday is completely different. That's
just one of.
Yes, that's just one of the other cases. The draw case is still on. Yes. I mean, there's no verdict yet, so okay. he's still in custody.
I can see that there is no certainty between the two of you. And we say, when in doubt, leave out. Don't publish. So I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh, well, I think what he was acquitted of was the asset declaration.
What I'm talking about is the way the headlines read differently.
That's it.
Okay? Correctional Service says he's still with us, okay? NDLE says the case still on. So
it's just to affirm why the Correctional Service still has him.
It's okay. You can debate all you want to concerning this. What he is talking about is that he has not seen that element of one of our parameters clearly. We call it accuracy. The report does not show accuracy of what the situation is. So let's see whether the days ahead would tell us clearly what this is all about.
All right. Whether the days ahead will give us power is also a question.
What has it dropped to now? 3,000
You keep saying that power has improved, but the authorities say it has plunged.
I saw some of it for 4 hours last night. After about five failed attempts.
I think he adds his candlelight time
to moonlight.
He adds the candlelight time to his
He wants to see me into a troublesome weekend. It's not going to work.
All right, 2026 Electoral Act, IPAC threatens boycott of 2027 polls.
I like the role of IPAC. They are supposed to bring that strand of sanity into how we do our things. But they're talking about boycotting it. That sounds extremist to me. Isn't there something they can do? Because in Nigeria, whether you boycott or not, certain things just go on. So you better find a way to participate, That's my little advice to them. That's it.
All right, and maybe finally, before we let you go, FG deploys technology to crack down on irregular immigrants nationwide.
So what have they been?
I think that's from the Minister of Interior.
What have they been deploying now?
Well, perhaps they didn't have that facility. Now they have it, so they can have a sense.
How can anyone say that they don't have technology in running anything now? I don't know whether it's a terribly smart headline.
No. Okay, you're talking about the headline. Okay.
Yes.
The way it was cast. But I think this...
They should not say, what is the name of the group now?
No group.
They should not say that they deploy technology. Technology is everywhere, nowhere.
A different kind of technology.
It should be specific.
A different kind of technology.
Smart headlining.
That enables you to read and have an idea of all those that have gone through Nigeria's borders.
Victor, it's not a smart headline.
No, I'm not arguing that that's I'm just saying because I have information.
I could restructure that, but this is not a class. Yes. I think they should have done better than that. It's
a bit...
There's technology everywhere now.
All right, it's time to go, but I found this quote very interesting. I'll read it. It says, "It is the place where dreams quietly fade and excuses begin to sound reasonable." It is the place where dreams quietly fade that excuses begin to sound reasonable.
And that's an absurd growth path.
Meaning that if you continue to dream, you won't have excuses.
Oh, is that?
But when you stop dreaming, then you can begin to have excuses.
Or get drunk on hope, like...
well, it needed mathematical explanation, so we left it to the ad maths specialist. You don't want to remember what happened to me and Masa.
You failed 4 times. You're going to receive
I
marks.
wrote it 3 times and failed it 4 times.
Many thanks,
It's time to
Chukudi.
go.
I know.
Have a great time.
In fact, you have
And,
been so kind to me.
A great weekend too.
Yeah, Ray. Have a nice weekend.
You too. Keep dreaming.
Victor, do what you like with your life, eh?
Thank you. I will. I'll